On today's show, my guest is Chairman and CEO of C-Bond Systems Inc., Mr. Scott Silverman. C-Bond Systems Inc. trades on the OTC markets under the trading symbol CBNT. C-Bond Systems Inc. is a San Antonio-based nanotechnology company and marketer for the patented C-Bond technology. The company's Patriot Glass Solutions division sells ballistic-resistant window film solutions and forced entry-resistant window film solutions to commercial enterprises, schools, government agencies, and more. The company recently announced their Q3 financials. Here to tell us about that announcement and more, I'd like to welcome onto the podcast Mr. Scott Silverman. Scott, thanks for joining me today.
Matthew, thank you for having us again. We appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. So in the last interview, for those who didn't hear it, we spoke about C-Bond Systems and the company forming Patriot Glass Solutions. We also alluded to that upcoming investor call. But for those who might be new to the story and haven't heard an interview with you before, could you please give us a quick background on the company?
Sure. C-Bond Systems, Inc. and our subsidiary Patriot Glass Solutions is really a one-of-a-kind business. We have unique technology with a unique intellectual property portfolio, 22 patents, patent pendings, licenses, things to that effect. A valuation by a third-party outside valuation firm of more than $33 million just for our intellectual property position. And the majority of our technology came out of Rice University. We've improved it since then. And really what we focus on is strengthening brittle materials. That's what our technology does. The brittle material markets is vast and broad, but the two largest markets, both huge markets, are glass and concrete cement, and then a lot of smaller markets underneath that, such as porcelains and mosaics and things to that effect. Our commercialized products as of today, Matthew, are only focused on glass. We used to have an automotive sector that we sold in May for over $4 million, which helped us significantly pay down our debt, strengthen our balance sheet, and give us the operating capital that we needed to really move forward with the business. And when we get to our operating results for the recent quarter, I think you'll see that that has paid off. Our technologies today are in the architectural business. Are marketed primarily through our Patriot Glass Solutions subsidiary. And we have two products that have evolved from our technology. Our original product, which is now called C-Bond Secure, is a forced entry resistant one layer of window film on a typical piece of 1/4 inch architectural glass, for example, in a strip mall, that is easy to apply, fairly inexpensive. And what this does is it deters break-ins. A bad guy with a tire iron or baseball bat is going to get into a storefront in less than 5 seconds. If our product is on it, if the C-Bond Secure solution and window film are on the 1/4 inch piece of glass, they're on the front of that facility, they're not going to get in for at least 1.5 to 2 minutes. And in that time frame, most bad guys would run away because they know that law enforcement is coming. If you want to see this, a demo of this technology with a guy actually swinging a baseball bat and trying to break into a facility, you can see this on our website, patriotglasssolutions.com or cbondsystems.com. We welcome you to take a look at it. Our flagship product, the one most relevant for today, is what we call BRS, C-Bond BRS, which stands for Bullet Resistant System. And what C-Bond BRS does is it actually stops bullets. We are certified by a third-party independent source to NIJ standards up to level 2A. NIJ means National Institute of Justice, to stop 5 rounds at 15 feet from any handgun on a 1/2 inch piece of annealed architectural glass, which is fairly typical, with 3 layers of 15 mil film and the C-Bond solution, the C-Bond BRS solution in between each layer of film and the other layers of film, and then between the film and the glass itself. Again, certified to stop 5 rounds at 15 feet. If you look at our websites that I made reference to before, you'll see videos of this. And if you get the chance to see it in person, which we do demos once in a while around the country, it's a very impressive thing to see. It works all the time. We also have the ability of stopping 5 rounds from 50 feet with 9 layers of 15 mil film. And then obviously the C-Bond BRS solution in between each layer of film itself, and then between the film and the glass. And that stops an assault rifle, an AR or an AK, 5 rounds at 50 feet. In the world we live in today, unfortunately, violence, smash and grabs, break-ins, gun violence, attacks at schools, attacks at government buildings have become a regular thing. And we're not the solution, but our technology and our products can be part of the solution in strengthening the glass on the outside of these facilities. And we take a lot of pride in that, and our business is growing as a result.
Thanks, Scott. So our investor audience is always interested in how the technology and the suite of products translates into revenue, right? So you just reported financial results for the third quarter of 2023, including a record quarterly revenue of about $814,000. So tell us, what was the catalyst for that, or the catalyst for that record revenue?
Yeah, that's a simple answer. The catalyst is Patriot Glass Solutions and the technologies that I just talked about. They are taking hold. We have a lot of presence in Texas, which is our home state. And we're lucky in that Texas, to my knowledge, as of today, is the only state in the country that has actually mandated the use of security window film and/or fencing on the first level ingress and egress areas of all public schools, with a deadline of August of 2025 as to when that needs to be implemented. So a lot of our growth is coming from schools in Texas and in other places, complying with those standards. We did have a substantial amount of growth this quarter, or this past quarter, in the commercial sector as well. We've done a number of airports that we've previously announced. We've done police departments that we've previously announced, in addition to the schools. And obviously commercial buildings just for pure protection, whether it's an office building, whether it's a mall, whether it's a freestanding storefront. We've done a lot of those as well. So the growth in the third quarter, which is record setting, we've never done over $800,000. It is by far the best quarter we've ever had. As you know, we recently announced some purchase orders which are not reflected in that revenue. So over time, our jobs do not get installed within days. It takes months and sometimes years to install our jobs, because some of it is new construction, for example. But once we get the purchase order, the majority of those, if not all of those, actually become revenue over time. So we expect the fourth quarter to be strong, and we expect 2024 to be very strong, because we have the right technology, the right place, the right time for the issues that this country is facing right now related to break-ins, smash and grabs, and gun violence.
Well, congratulations on the record numbers for growth. Let's talk about continued growth and continuing to grow C-Bond Systems in future quarters. Texas has you set up right. I'm sure other states are considering, similar legislation or plans for how they want to implement safety standards. Does the company have a backlog of projects as we head into 2024, or what are some things you're looking forward to shortly after the new year?
So yes, we do have a backlog. As I just mentioned, we previously announced, I think it was $1 million in purchase orders just in the first 2 weeks of October. And although it hasn't been quite that rapid in the second 2 weeks of October, those numbers alone, $1 million in 2 weeks would translate to $26 million on an annual basis. By no means am I sitting here today claiming that we're going to do $26 million next year, but we are going to grow. And we are going to grow what I think will be fairly significantly, driven by the school markets first, and then the government and the commercial sectors second. We have grown our sales opportunities, our sales force, not necessarily internally, which is a sales force focused in southern Texas, but as many of our investors know, we have built out a dealer network of Patriot Glass Solutions dealers. I believe we now have 36 dealers around the country in various stages of training and sales training and installation training and things to that effect. And we have one strong partner out of Arkansas by the name of Curtis Stout, which is almost 100-year-old company in the electrical contracting space that has a team of approximately 15 sales reps that go across what they call the Southeast. It ranges as far west as Arizona, however, and goes across to Florida. So really that Gulf State corridor, if you will, and a little north of it. And they have put out a significant amount of bids using our technology as the broader focus that they have on the entire school safety space. So we feel that we have vastly increased our sales and marketing and distribution networks over the past year. So the majority of the revenue thus far has come from our own projects that we procure and install internally. But I think in 2024, not only will that piece grow, but we think that the piece that I just mentioned through our dealer network will obviously grow significantly as well. So we're looking forward to 2024. And again, yes, we're a business. Yes, we're in business to create revenue and create profits for the shareholders. But what we do can help save lives. And I might have mentioned this on the last call, but the best example of this, and I tell people about it every day, is when you look at the video from the shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, which was in the spring or summer of this past year, the shooter there gained access to the facility by shooting at the front doors of the church or school that were glass, and those doors were locked. So the only way that she could access that facility was by breaking through the glass. If our technology had been on the front doors of that school, can't guarantee it, but I can tell you that it would have taken her longer to get into the facility. Law enforcement would have been able to have gotten there more promptly to stop the shooter in the actions that were going on. And I think lives would have been saved because of our technology. Yes, we're a business. Yes, we want to grow our business. But the reason we're growing it by making people safe, especially in schools, we all have kids or know people that work in schools or whatever the case may be, that we are the best of breed technology, and we have to get that word out and spread the sales and marketing efforts, not just in Texas, but across the country.
Would you ever consider growth by acquisition, or are you focused solely on growing the company organically at this time?
So the answer is yes. I would consider growth by acquisition. We would consider growth by acquisition. We've made one acquisition in the last 5 years. It was our largest distributor out of San Antonio, which is where we're now based, out of their facility. And they formed the foundation, if you will. Their former name was Mobile Tint, trading as A1, but they are now Patriot Glass Solutions. We've changed that corporate name. That's how it became Patriot Glass Solutions, Inc. So we expect growth from our own division and from our dealer body, but I think acquisitions would be smart. Obviously, if the balance sheet is lined up appropriately with the capitalization in order to do it smartly, and it could be a similar acquisition to that, where we're buying one or more of our dealers that have signed on to the Patriot Glass dealer network, or it could even be something different. School safety is a broad initiative. It goes far beyond window film. It goes to locks in the schools. It goes to 911 reporting systems in the school. It goes to integrated video cameras with the local police departments. There's many forms of school safety initiatives, and if we want to broaden what we do just in that space, I think that's another area that we could grow in as well.
My understanding is that the company has sufficient cash on hand currently, but could you tell us if you are expecting to need to raise any capital in the foreseeable future?
Well, the good news, and many of the investors that follow us closely know that, during my first 4 to 5 years with the company, we did take some financings that were not best of breed. They were convertible notes and things to that effect. And we've gotten rid of almost all of them. We have just one left. And the sale of our automotive business back in May is what helped us facilitate that. We paid off a significant amount of debt. We strengthened our balance sheet. We don't currently need to raise any capital in the markets. We don't have enough to do the acquisition that we just talked about, so that would take additional capital raises. But operationally, right now, we're fine, and I don't foresee any capital raises in the near future.
Excellent. Scott, any parting notes for us today? Thanks for swinging back through. Anything you want to leave the audience with?
No, Matthew, we thank you for your interest. We thank our investors and potential investors for their interest. We are very proud of our third quarter. Our business is growing. We have made the right strategic moves, in my opinion, in 2023 to strengthen the balance sheet, improve the cash position, improve the operations of Patriot Glass Solutions, which we have now incorporated, and it is the growth engine of C-Bond Systems. So best of breed technology, and the sales and marketing is lining up. So thank you all for your interest, and look forward to talking to you again.
Excellent. My guest today has been Chairman and CEO of C-Bond Systems, Inc., Mr. Scott Silverman. C-Bond Systems, Inc. trades on the OTC markets under the trading symbol CBNT. For more information on the company, you can visit them, as always, online at patriotglasssolutions.com. Scott, it's a pleasure. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Matthew.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Spotlight Media Corporation, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are for educational and research purposes. Stock Day encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when investing to determine investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional.